I forgot to mute YouTube over here. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of New Book Ludis. I'm your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me, my homeboy, my friend, Chubb, and his wife. Thank you very much for coming to hang out. It's good to see you both, and I'm excited, man. I cannot wait for this next fucking book. I cannot wait for it. It's going to be amazing.
I can't wait to get it done.
Yeah. How far along are you?
I'm about 30-something%. I've got some pages to show, but I've almost finished with the second story. There are 4 stories in total.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just I think I should be done by July, which was that I predicted in the campaign.
Excellent.
So don't want to overshoot that, but yeah, working hard. Yeah, just
excellent, man.
I'm toying with the idea of next time just getting it done completely, but on the other hand, then I don't get to share, work in progress and stuff like that. So
right. That's always the balancing act, isn't it? Because people like feeling involved. They like seeing the progress. They like seeing the coming together of it, the molding and the shaping of the story. So I mean, I'm happy either way. The book's already done. Cool. That means I'll get it right away. But I'm still working on it. You'll get some progress reports. Cool. That kind of actually makes me feel a little more involved in the
and you don't get to see me sweat. You don't get me to see me. You don't get
to see me agonize over panels and pages. Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, again, that's one of the unique aspects of this scene that we have, is that it really is kind of it really kind of more involves the fans, because they're essential. Without them we aren't able to do this. And it's like I was saying backstage, it reminds me of the indie comic scene from the 80s, the black and white indie comic scene. You know what I mean? It just that hustle. If you want to have your book in front of eyes, you got to hustle. You got to make sure that you're putting it out there. You're talking to people. You're networking. You're talking. It's like going to conventions.
It's like there's no art. It's like the art department, marketing department, distribution. Okay, we've got an extra member of distribution over here, and
that's right. You got some backup, man. Hell yeah.
She's here to help.
Mrs. Chubb, yes.
It's amazing how much more people like Mrs. Chubb than they like me. That's actually
well, I mean, I understand that. I've got
not a marriage.
What's up, Mr. Good Stuff? Welcome. See, and I've got my backup, my partner right here, Flying Feline, my partner in crime. She's my backup. But yeah, it pays to have good backup, and it doesn't hurt when they're easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
That's mm-hmm. I mean, I figure that's part of the reason why everybody likes talking to Feline more than they like talking to me. She's a hell of a lot prettier than I am. Hey, we got a Brian Chriscow. What's going on, man? He says, "Wee doggies. What up, everybody? Hail Luke and hail Chubbs. I always say that Merry Boys is the best Comicsgate book I've read. Can't wait for the next installment."
Thanks, mate.
Hail, brother. I agree.
Gorilla. We've got the collection. I'm looking forward to that. And from what I've seen so far, I'm not going to be disappointed. So yeah, awesome.
So many awesome creative individuals in this scene. So many fun folks to talk to and hang out with, and so many different creative backgrounds. Just so many different people can do so many different things. It's pretty amazing. Like I said, like a giant convention. It's like a 24-hour giant convention. You're always running into somebody new that can do all kinds of different things.
Absolutely, that's the most exciting thing ever. I think the ones who hate us ain't us. You know what I mean?
I feel like to put it simply, yes. More complexly, I feel like they're jealous and afraid because. Right. They're jealous because they don't have the freedom that we do, and they're afraid to take that leap.
Yeah.
Like we were talking backstage, I used to want to work for the mainstream. Now, I don't care. I'm more excited about the stuff that I can create on my own. I'm more excited about what my friends can create. I'm more excited about supporting like little independent startups, because that's helping somebody fulfill their dream. Instead of like helping a corporation out with these, giant IPs, whatnot. I'm actually helping somebody build their dream, helping somebody build their IP. That to me is much more enticing than picking up the new story of, whatever, man, that is written by somebody that just wants to put it on their CV so they can, go write a Netflix series. So, I mean,
exactly.
yeah, this means so much more. This actually means something to the people that are creating it and the people that are reading it. I mean, when was the last time you were excited about anything coming out of the big two? Can you remember?
Yeah. Apart from reprints, nothing. This is
apart from
many
reprints.
years back. Yeah, no, I can't even.
Do you know what the funny thing is? Those reprints actually sell better than a lot of the new stuff.
They do.
Like the facsimile editions.
Yeah, and video.
There's magic back then.
Yeah, there was a passion. No, look, I'll get back. I'd really kill for some old. John Buscema reprints and collections. Conan the Rogue. That's been out of print for ages, but it's his best work ever. I'm trying so hard to get a copy of that. It's just amazing good work. I don't know why. Don't like money. I don't know.
I often wonder why they don't reprint some more of that classic stuff, especially since I don't know if you noticed, like the size that you chose for Mary Boys, that's actually becoming kind of like a standard size for kind of like mature stories. DC's Black Label, a lot of their books are that wide, kind of almost magazine format, because it harkens back to like the old EC and the Savage Sword of Conan.
The magazines
kind of ingrained in the public, consciousness that these are for mature stories. These are more adult stories. These aren't comic books. These are graphic comic stories.
Yeah, like the Inkhull is the European stuff. Everybody sees it, goes, "Oh, that's art. That's the man's art. That's not comic, lowly comic books." You know what I mean?
Those European albums, they sell better than anything we got over here. Which amazes me.
The European industry is like $8 billion in equivalent, which is about half of the American one. But I don't think it includes all the the side franchise. They don't make nearly as many toys and games and things like that based on their IP. That's actually sales of comics.
Yeah, that's over there. It's more actually about the reading and the art. I don't know. It's also just kind of a focus in society, I suppose. There's a lot of focus on reading and learning and stuff like that over there. And you guys have time because you have more mass transit than we do. You've got time to read and whatnot. Here we drive everywhere. So if I'm going to read while I'm driving somewhere, I usually listen to an audiobook. I can't do that with a comic because I have to look at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's gotten to the point where that's how I get all my novels in is audiobooks. Because I've got so many comics that I want to read that if I'm going to sit down and read something, it's going to be a comic. I'll listen to an audiobook while I'm washing the dishes, mowing the lawn, etc. But yeah, man, I only see this growing more. This indie scene, because we're creating something that matters to the people creating it, not to a corporation.
It's been like we were saying backstage. It's been a bit of a seismic shift. Like my idols aren't anybody working for the mainstream. They're all the good ones are dead, as far as I'm concerned. The guys I look up to now are Brian Pulido, Billy Tucci, Ethan Van Sciver. Those guys who are making their own way and being extremely successful with their own IPs. Those are the guys I look up to and want to emulate. That's 100%. The change. That's the difference.
Yeah, they saw a new path and they started heading down it. I remember when Pulido launched his first new Lady Death campaign. It wasn't a huge campaign, but he did it on Kickstarter. And, I think it was maybe $40,000, a little over $40,000, but he's slowly but surely been building it. And now he's got Coffin Comics. He's rebuilt his universe. He's got
that studio
books.
Have you seen that video of his studio with Coffin Comics where he takes everybody through a tour?
Oh yeah.
Things. This is where he's got this big Lady Death figure and this huge. I'm like, this is what I want. I want this mecca for my own sort of creations. This man cave without end. You know,
Right.
assembly.
And then the wall of fame that he's got, like with all the old Chaos comic stuff leading up to the Coffin comics. Yeah, man. You know, celebrate where he came before, but, you know, showing excitement and what he's doing now, you know. Love it. Yeah, he was one of the early adopters of this crowdfunding thing. Him and Jimmy Palmiotti. Jimmy Palmiotti was another early adopter of this crowdfunding thing. Jimmy doesn't have quite like the universe set up the way Brian does. Brian's always been, you know, really good at like building these characters out and whatnot. Jimmy, from what I've noticed anyway, he seems to have like, I've got a story here, I've got a story there, I've got a story here, and I've got a story there, and they're all really good stories, but they don't you know, tie together. So, but yeah, man. Let's see. Oh, we got a Shadowhawk up in the chat. What's going on, Shadowhawk? Welcome. And a Devil Flyer. Welcome. Welcome. Brian says, we used to dream about working for the mainstream. Now we're looking at them sinking like a burning ship and think to ourselves, nah, I'm good. Yeah,
very much so.
Hey, welcome, Yorkshire Flatcap. Thanks for coming to hang out. So is there anything that you're reading right now that you're really enjoying? Or are you just full on creation mode?
Full on creation mode. I'm not reading anything.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a while.
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I bought a French. Yeah, like there was this comic book called Undertaker by a French creator called Rolf Mayer. Well, he's the artist anyway, and he's. I would say he's on par with Mobius. The Mobius is Blueberry Cowboy Comics. It's a cowboy comic.
Okay.
Incredibly good stuff. Amazingly good. So I bought this big, thick black and white edition.
Oh wow.
Ooh, it's in French. I can't read it.
It's beautiful. I got no idea what it says, but it's beautiful.
But there's a digital version online that I can read, luckily. And I got that just because it's black and white, so I can just salivate over the line work. It's beautiful work.
Absolutely
wonderful stuff. Yeah, I've been buying a lot of comics. I just haven't been able to read them. No, not because they're French, because I just don't have time.
Oh no, I get it, man. I get it. I've got stacks and stacks of books. I've got several crowdfunding books. I've actually got a stack of crowdfunding books I need to open. You know, so yeah, I fully understand. If I could take like maybe, I don't know, a month off or something like that and just read, I think I might be able to get through, you know, maybe a third of them.
Yeah, I've got crowdfunding stuff. Monica's been receiving, you know, scripts and comics and things for, you know, to approve. And then I'm like, she doesn't make comic books. Like I told you, people like her a lot more than they go up to like comic book women. You know, tell me how to make a campaign. Where am I? What have I been?
So am I just chopped liver? Come on, yeah. That's awesome.
But that's fine. I don't mind. That's like.
Well, you know what? You need a PR department. You need somebody to handle that, and you got Monica to do that. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, that's teamwork, baby. Yeah, make the dream work.
Exactly. I was like, at some point, I was like, I'm doing this all by myself. She's like, how can I help? I was like, you know what you can do? You can run a YouTube channel for us. You know, you can do all that. You get the social media.
Yeah.
You know, just
run that social media.
Yeah.
Keep you know, the thing about the social media is it keeps your brand in front of people's eyes. You know, that constant update, and you know, having regular shows, it builds an audience. People know where they can get entertainment from. You know, because we're all looking for something fun to watch, to listen to read. You know, it's what we do. But being able to connect with your audience like we can with these shows, that's the beauty of what we're doing here.
Yeah, that's what the mainstream can't do. So we've, you know, because the approach is like that. They don't want to give that. That's what I think somebody said. That's why that nobody's creating any more good mainstream characters, because the creators aren't getting paid for giving these companies good ideas. So they're keeping all the good ideas in their back pocket. All the other ideas are generic things that have been used before. So there's no good new content, and they're not going to create content on shows and things because they're not getting paid for it. They're also like very conscious of the fact that, hey, you know, I'm not getting paid for this work. I'm not promoting myself. I'm promoting this big mega corp. You know.
Yeah. It's their IPs. I mean, you know. I mean, even the residuals that Ethan talks about getting. excuse me, when they use his characters for certain things. You know, that amounts to a certain amount, but it doesn't mean it's not a big deal unless it's in a movie. You know, he's even said that. You know, the residuals aren't all that great unless it's. But I mean, the residuals from DC apparently are still better than Marvel. So.
And it's still 27 years back. So it's still a long time. I mean, no, fine. I'm sure there are benefits to DC anyway. Marvel apparently there is hardly anything, and I know that the UK publishers there's pretty much there really isn't much at all.
They're dinosaurs, man. You know, they've been functioning like this for time out of mind, and they think it's never going to change. Well. I mean, the landscape just up and changed around them because this meteor is about to strike. Yeah, you know? So, I mean, evolve or die, as Warren Ellis put it.
Ooh, Warren Ellis.
I love Warren Ellis, man. On Do You Even Read, Inkspots and I just did the first 8 issues of The Authority with Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch. Oh, man.
I'll be honest, comic. I haven't read a single... You've read Planetary, and you really like it.
Oh, Planetary is great.
I haven't read a single Warren Ellis story. Never.
Highly recommend Authority, highly recommend Planetary, and highly, highly, highly fucking recommend Transmetropolitan.
Oh, yeah. I've read the first collection of that. I remember.
Okay, there you go. Transmet is my favorite Warren Ellis joint. Yeah, absolutely. Then Planetary, then Authority. You know, just so good. But yeah. Highly recommend. Hey, we got an Amanda B. What's going on, Amanda B? Welcome. Yes, I am a slacker. What's going on, Pops? Welcome, Pops. Sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. See, Yorkshire Flatcap says, I find social media more draining than producing art a lot of the time. Probably my biggest downfall. Yeah, that doom scrolling doesn't do anybody any good. You know,
I was actually thinking how am I going to do this because I want to get back into shape. I was thinking, should I do like what? Because I've seen a few guys who posting their push-ups and their sit-ups and all that. So maybe I should do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a way to keep yourself accountable. You know.
Yeah, the embarrassment factor will definitely spur me on to work a bit harder at it. Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, I've got an encourager here for me. Did you walk today? Did you do your weights today? Did you walk today? Yeah. You know, but you know, it's a back and forth. You know, keeping each other in line, so to speak, or something resembling. See, Matt knows what I'm talking about. Transmet is awesome. Spider Jerusalem is the man. Based on a futuristic version of Hunter S. Thompson as a journalist. Yeah.
I remember that part where he's got like a long beard, like right in the beginning, he's got like long hair. He looks like Alan Moore. Then he goes into this chamber and flaps off all his hair.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he looks like me. It's hilarious.
I walked around the shop today. Does that count? I moved, semi-heavy boxes of comics. Does that count? Pale Rider says, just strutting through with my nipple tassels, just a swinging. What's up, Pale Rider? Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. Oh, and we got a 24 Eyes. Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at the campaign here for Beefheads.
Beefheads.
Let's see if I can do this properly. Chrome tab. Let's see. There it is. And all right. There we go. That's better. I'm always trying to figure out the best way to showcase as much of, take up as much of the screen real estate as possible. And a vertical monitor does not do it. But this, now I can actually see everything. Shall we run the video first?
Oh, yeah, go for it, yeah. And I'll give it like a rundown of what it's about for people who don't.
Here we go.
6 a.m. to this music.
Never far from a bloodstained paddle. Heading to the bar with my brothers holding hip to mantle. I smell sinners and I swear I'm running out of cheese.
Yeah.
Father, forgive me, but my tolerance is getting weak. Should I flatten them out or should I take a shot? Bottoms up before I pile up some body parts. The devil's in the bottle, so I guzzle from a glass. With every sip, I feel like taking out the city's trash. A fitting job for a quad of rowdy dumpster babies. We cheat to death, it's only fair that we replenish Hades. Or we could pray they repent and let God sort them. I'd rather make them confess and go to war on them. for the proper sequel. It's proper PC Comics, Mary Boys, there is no equal. Despite our mother's worst intentions, yeah, we walk the valley and cast a shadow with death, the wickedness surrounding. Just want to go to the tavern and pound a couple lagers, but now my boots are painted red with sin.
Ha ha ha! I fucking love it. That's awesome.
He did a great job. You know,
He
it
did.
was like,
6 is fantastic. That was.
you know,
So
I'm not a
cool.
hip hop guy at all. We did like this hip hop review of the first Mary Boys comic, and it was just absolutely hilarious. So
Oh yeah,
it is kind of
Mark is great at what he does. He's
and
awesome.
he does everything.
Yeah, he really does. He really does. He's got some great bars too. See, great video, says Matt, and he said he loves your art style.
Thank you. Listen, let me say what it's about. It's basically teenage Knights Templar in modern day broken Britain, who are bringing in salvation by force. So they're basically removing all the evil, not crime, but evil, sinfulness out of their society by beating the living crap out of everybody. They have got birth defects. So they don't have any hair like me. They've got cleft lips, huge hands, big feet, and they wear these big Doc Martens. And when they drink beer, it makes them physically stronger and faster. So they're kind of like superheroes. So it's almost like the Ninja Turtles. They've got birth defects. So they run around. It's non-PC black humor essentially. And they were raised by this old priest who in a previous life was a member of the Order of the Knights Templar. So he taught them formation, fighting, battle tactics, and all that sort of thing. He's got this plan. He radicalized them. It's almost like it's almost like ISIS. Only Catholic friends. So he's radicalized them into become vigilantes, and
And the first 2 issues are fucking fantastic, you guys. Just watching the boys have their misadventures around town, interacting with the city's seedy underbelly. It's just I'm reading through, just laughing at various different points. It's not often that a comic will make me laugh out loud, and both the issues really literally made me laugh out, uncontrollably. Just wasn't expecting it, and just outburst of laughter.
I love
just
hearing
because
stuff. I love
the
hearing
book
that.
is fucking great.
That's
Yeah. All right, so you got 4 new stories showing up in this one, and all right. So tell me about the lager tier here.
The lager tier is basically it's for people who backed the first campaign and want all the new stuff. So it's all the new little bits and pieces that come into this campaign. So it's got it's got the comic, which is going to be 74 pages.
Nice.
It's got a variant cover, so there's be 2 copies of the comic, one with the regular cover, one with the variant cover, an embroidered patch, which has has the lager stomping like you saw in the video, which is kind of like the theme for this campaign. There's going to be a booklet with all the preparatory art. I did something similar for the previous campaign, where it's got all the preparatory art and notes, cultural references, all sorts of things, basically leading up to the creation of the book. And lastly, there's 3 art prints. One's got Father Parish riding a pig, and two virgin covers of the 2 virgin prints without logos or anything of the regular cover and the variant cover.
Awesome. I remember the father print on the pig. That was like the first teaser image that you released for this campaign. I remember, and it still cracks me up to this day. That's awesome.
It's
all right, and so you got your basic book tier, and this is the main cover, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's wraparound cover.
I love that.
And it's the same size as the previous book, so it's not American size comics. They're a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Give an example. I got an example here, but I don't have an American comic to compare it to.
Let's see, I've got.
There we go.
But like I was saying backstage, this really is kind of like the format that things are going to for more adult and mature stories. The DC Black Label books, a lot of them are what they call prestige format, and they're about this size. But yeah.
I wonder if there's a lot of complaining of people who can't fit those into the long boxes.
Yes, there is. They have to have specific long boxes made for them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Here's the supplemental book for the last campaign.
Oh yeah.
Notice the homage to the Ninja Turtles in the cover.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan. Of Ninja Turtles.
Now, is there a tier where people can get the first 2 issues? Or
yeah, it's available as an add-on. It's also if you don't want to buy if anybody doesn't want to buy, if anybody wants to check out the first 2 issues first before committing to this, the best way would be to just look on our eBay. It's there.
Excellent.
Not right now.
Okay, but I'll make a plan on that. Or just we just do it by PayPal. We send you copies of it.
There you go.
So a few people have done that, and they've liked it, and they've backed the main campaign, which is
do it. You want these books? They're so much fun. All right, so you can get the Cathedral variant.
Yeah, I love Gothic architecture. So I was thinking to myself, well, everybody's doing variant covers. I'll try that, but then I really want to do something that's going to be hardcore Gothic. I love
the way you mixed. You got Mary Boys in the like the stained glass there, like the window.
Yeah, I was trying to do something like Eisner-esque. He always puts the title somewhere into the art itself.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see the Eisner influence in your stuff, especially in the storytelling that you use when in these books. Now, the colors. This is all like ink wash, right?
Yeah. It's all like they used to use these ink dyes. These little. This is from times of Mad Magazine, Jack Davis, Hollywood. They use Dr. Phil Martin's ink dyes. So it's colored ink, and you just apply it like you would watercolor, but it's permanent, so you can layer it, so you get like a richer effect in watercolor. Love that.
Excellent. Stuff. Yeah, I love Dr. P.H. Martin's. That's the black ink I use. I have some sepia. I have some green, some blue, some orange. Yeah. All right, cool. I've just been using them with dip pens. I've not actually tried to use them like watercolors. I had some alcohol ink at one point that I was using kind of like watercolors, but it would have a tendency to seep through the page real easily. I mean, it would dry pretty quickly, but it would seep through the page pretty easily. Cool. I'm gonna have to try that. Now, interiors are black and white ink wash like the first book.
Yeah, if you scroll a little bit further down, you can see examples of what they're going to look like. What I've done though is just here and there. I'm also going to add a bit of what do you call them? Half tone. Like the dots effect.
Oh, zipatone. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll have to do it with digitally, unfortunately, because I can't find any of that stuff at a reasonable price.
I'm not sure they actually make the film anymore.
You can get the manga stuff, which is horrendously expensive, and it looks like manga stuff. It doesn't look like the old
horrendously expensive, yeah.
Yeah, but it also looks like manga, which is not what I want. It's like you want the old Electra set stuff. Like up to the 90s, but yeah, good luck in getting it.
The classic stuff. You know what? I wonder if there's a company out there that can figure out how to make those again, or if there is a company that makes them so they're not ridiculously expensive and they look like the classic stuff.
I think that's the thing. I mean, it's just so easy now to do it digitally. Literally, it is. It's so much easier. I mean, I like it. I think what I would like to do is just do some standalone art pieces with it traditionally, but I couldn't. Doing it on a computer for a whole comic book must be. I mean, the manga guys have got like an army of little nubile servants who cut everything out meticulously and slap them on there. I'm like, great. I don't have that.
Yeah. No. No. Just the two of you. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about it is being able to put it on digitally. You got to scan the artwork in anyway, so you can put the book together for pre-press, so you can send it off to the printer. So I mean, it's almost like on the way to the printer, you just add your zipatone, and you can control it a lot easier. You can take it out if you need to. You can downsize it. It makes more sense to do it that way. It really does.
It's just about not letting it take over. You know,
Mhm.
you're not dictated by the computer. You know what you want to do. It's literally what I've created is about 3 different tones of forks zipper tone that I'll put on there that looks as close to the original as what I could generated in Photoshop. Because you can really go to town with that stuff.
Oh yeah,
completely artificial and plastic, which is not the point.
yes, yeah. It I don't think it's a bit much if it's overused, but when it's used just right, yeah.
I'm so happy with the whole Peter Dinklage thing that's happening now. You know, that managed to get some story. You know, so there's going to be a bit of outrage over that. I hope. You know,
I'm sure this whole fucking page cracks me up, especially this last panel. Boot, and just the look on his face is just. Okay, so this style of humor and this like acting, guys, this is what you can expect throughout the entire book. It is so well acted by the characters, the page layouts, the storytelling. It's this good throughout the whole thing, and I cannot recommend getting the first 2 enough. Just saying.
oh, thanks, man.
But yeah, this shit's just.
It's stuff that makes me laugh. You know, I've got a very dark sense of humor. You know, I really laugh at things I shouldn't. You know,
Clearly I do too. 'Cause this just keeps cracking me up. Like this guy's face right here. You know, he's just punching into the side. It's a KFC bucket. I mean, it's just it's silly, it's ridiculous, it's over the top, and it's great. You know?
There's a solemn, like with the previous 2 books, there was a solemn element to it. Is that to a lesser degree? It's also in this comic. So it's like this weird balance between that and you know, your rip roaring, action packed punk adventure sort of stuff.
Well, I mean, in a story, in a good story, you got to have ebb and flow. You've got to have contrast. You know, just like in artwork, you've got to have contrast so you can see things, so you can tell what's going on. In a story, you got to have contrast as well, so it moves, it feels real. You know, if everything's always 150% full bore, then there's no contrast, there's no ebb and flow. It's all the same all the time.
Extreme,
it's just
90s extreme.
Yeah. Well, it's like the events. If the world's always ending, then the world's never ending.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. It loses all of its oomph.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, very true. That's I don't know. I find that's a problem with a lot of comic book writing.
Yeah.
You know, just because you can put everything in, you shouldn't necessarily do that.
Yeah. That's why a good editor is worth their weight in gold.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up, Phil? Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome. All right, so and then original page from B-Feds. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I thought I'd do that again. It's actually cheaper this time around than the previous one. That's including shipping.
That's
it's
awesome.
weird. Yeah, you seeing it in pounds? We're seeing it in pounds there. Oh, I see. There's the dollar value at the bottom.
Yep, it shows it underneath.
Yeah.
Yep, I like that they've started doing that so that we know.
Yeah, that's handy.
Makes it a lot easier to calculate things.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so these are the 4 stories. The liturgy. Every year, Father Parish and the boys lead a procession to the river to keep a small flame of hope alive amongst Basham's destitute by whatever means necessary. Is it Asbocon?
Asbocon, yeah, because Asbo from the Asbo is this chain of that shopping center, and they put them on a comic book convention, the first comic book convention in Basham, and things go a bit south. So I take out all my frustration in the comic book industry. I take it out in this story.
Awesome. They attend Basham's first ever comic book convention, but find a distinct lack of true believers.
Yeah, I could show you. Let me show you. Now that we're talking about Asbocon, here's a page. It still needs to be. Well, I've already put on the half tones, so there's plays and stuff on this side over there. But as you can see, I make like a parody of a lot of these are all cosplayers. I don't want to get sued. These are all cosplayers. Convention floor.
Right. That's awesome.
And here's another one of Insidious cosplayer over there. And yeah, it's going to be loads of fun.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love the acting of your figures, man. The emoting that you're able to get across.
Yeah, it's a lot of face pulling in front of the mirror.
Hey, man, whatever works, you know. I mean, I've been guilty of that as well. That's why you keep a mirror, you know, right next to your drawing table.
Don't you find if you're drawing a smile, you're like, you're angry, you're like,
oh yeah. Making an angry. You're drawing an angry face. You're kind of making an angry face. So you know what it feels. Yeah. No, I know. It's smiling or like, you know. I mean, that's. I don't know. I feel like you kind of have to do that in order to get that emotion, that feeling down on the page.
And then she comes up to me. Are you okay? Are you okay?
What's wrong with you?
Is everything all right? I'm like, yeah. You learn.
I'm acting. I'm emoting onto the page.
Angry.
I'm okay. Thank you.
Are you angry?
All right, a special day. It's football season, and Basham's hooligans are prepared to pull every dirty trick in the book to help the home side win Sunday's match. But they soon find that they aren't the only ones planning shenanigans. Yeah. Nice.
There's a long tradition of football comics in the UK. And I'm not a big football fan. When I say football, obviously I mean soccer.
Soccer, yeah. No, I know. I actually used to play soccer way long time ago.
Alrighty. Me too, actually. You can't really get away from it. But there's a long tradition of the comics, and I actually like a lot of the comic books, even though I'm not really into the sport. There's some really good artists from that. And I thought, how much fun would it be to do something like that? Obviously, you know, with my own sort of style, and taking the hooligan sort of perspective, and putting it in there too, is gonna be a lot of fun. So I'd agree. That's one of my favorite. I'm leaving that one to the last because I'm really savoring. I'm going to enjoy drawing that one. It's
nice.
And the last one is Dinky Jones is Dead. I really want to do I also really like crime comics, like Torpedo. I really like The Spirit, obviously. So I wanted to do something like that. Again, I'm not a massive fan of crime comics, but I've got certain artists that I can't get enough of them, and storytellers. I just love that. So I really wanted to do something that was a bit noir, and it's these midget crime. It's a midget crime family basically. So he was a member of Basham's most notorious crime families. All the family want now is a nice Catholic burial. Shouldn't be a problem, right? Obviously, you know, marriage is not going to let them bury their little dead in his nice Catholic burial ground, and that's where the bone of contention is.
Can't have that. Nope. That's awesome. I love the fact that you can do all kinds of different stories with you know, the boys. You know what I mean? Like you can tell all these different stories and do different things with them just because of the way it's set up, just the nature of the characters. It's awesome. It's
got a broad range. They've got so many gears. The way I wrote it, you can do sort of very short, sharp tank girl / milk and cheese sort of strip stories, like high octane, balls to the wall, 1 to 5 page things, and then you can do much long. You can do like the middle scope ones. And you can do long form stories with them too. They've got everything. They're just those sort of characters. And because you've got the boys who are of a certain age, and you've got Father Parish who's completely, you know, he's older, and you've just got a lot of characters with which you can do stuff like that. And I haven't even introduced the main villains yet. There are villains in these stories, but I haven't even introduced the arch ones. I'm saving those you know, to do like those big sort of events with those villains. Yeah, and I can't wait for that. That's gonna be quite epic.
So, how long is the story of Merry Boys? Like, does it have a beginning, middle, and end, or do you just have certain events that you see on like maybe a timeline, and you can go through and put stories here, there, and everywhere?
There's a massive piece of backstory pertaining to Parish, which I'm still wondering whether I should tell or not, because I'm afraid there's going to be too much exposition on that. But the focus is entertainment. Yeah. But for you know, as far as story arcs goes, not including this, I've got 3 big story arcs that I want to do. I don't know how it will end after, because I haven't thought further than that. But, right. You know, I'm not going to end it like Cerebus with all dead and decrepit one day, protecting Indiana Jones's cave or whatever the case may be.
Right.
No, I haven't gotten that far. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've got a few stories that. So yeah, the reason why I asked the second bit is because I have a few stories that are on a timeline of events, and I have a way to tell stories in between them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
it's
yes,
just,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
I'm always curious about how other creators, world build and keep track of things, as far as like their characters. Because when you're creating things, you've got ideas in the back of your head that pertain to this character over here, but it's not going to happen until something way, way, way down the line here. It's just,
A very slight foreshadowing is
Yeah.
very important, and I was very careful to plant those in the first, without it being like this big. Oh, it's a foreshadow. Things are going to happen. It's almost like if people had to go back, they go he's been thinking about this the whole sort of time. But yeah, you got to have a very good idea of like you have to plan way into the future. Otherwise, you're just going to paint yourself into a corner. That's the problem.
Oh yeah.
With the
No,
stuff.
that happens a lot. Just riding with reckless abandon without thinking about it. Yeah, people write themselves into a corner, and that's how you get. That's how time travel gets used like a crutch. That's how multiverses get used like a crutch.
And then you scrap everything with the Crisis of Infinite Earths or New 52, and you have to fix all the mistakes that you made it more believable, and it's like it just turns into a big fat mess.
It does turn into a big fat mess. Yo, what's going on, Lorenzo? Welcome. There's an indoor variety of soccer. What's going on, Keely Chow? Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. Appreciate you being here.
Yep.
Yeah. The last two issues. How many pages were in the last two issues each?
I think it was 24 and 26.
Okay. So this is like almost 3 of those put together in a single book this time.
Yeah. Now,
Okay,
people were complaining that it wasn't long enough, the last one. So
okay. I mean, if that's their only complaint, then you're doing pretty good. Then, I mean, once you get into the stories and they move along at their fun little clip, and then you're like, oh wait, I want some more of that. I want to read some more of that stuff. So I totally get it. So that's awesome. So is this the format you're going to go with from now on?
I like
with
the
books?
format. I like the short story format. And I think if I do like in the longer arcs, those arcs will be broken down into shorter stories, with the things happening between the stories filled in with you get creative with. You can tell a lot more story that way, and you can focus on the bits that are more entertaining without slowing everything down. Because if you've got an A to B sort of story where every bit, every action, everything is recorded in that one sort of, it can become a bit of a slug. Is a bit of an art to structuring things to keep them interesting. But yeah, this has been good. I really like it doing it like this. I also really want to do what I also want to do in the lead. I actually, I shouldn't talk about the next project before I fulfill this one.
I mean, you can talk about whatever you want. It's we're promoting this one and getting people excited for the next little bit, but don't go giving away anything that you don't want to give away.
No.
That's always my caveat.
Yeah, and I'll just say that I really like it. They also work really well as single panel cartoons. I did a few in the first two issues.
Yeah.
Just for fun. I just had these ideas that popped up, and I thought this is going to be a good idea. Then I've just been writing a lot of them, and I was thinking, how cool would it be just to do that almost like a newspaper cartoon, but online. Not a web. I don't want to say web comic because that's got weeb connotations.
That's got interesting connotations. I don't know about that.
Yeah, furry stuff, which I don't want to.
Yeah.
But like that.
No, I love the anthology type style, and like having in between some of the stories having the little 1-page comic, and like you said, the way you did in the original, that shows the versatility of these characters in the world that you've made, and the style of storytelling that you use. It works for both, and putting it together like that, it feels like more content, you know, because you're going on adventures with these characters in each one of these stories, right? You know, and that little story has a beginning, middle, and an end. You went on an adventure with these characters, and the more adventures you get to go on with these characters, the more you feel like you know them, the more you feel like, you know, they're a part of your world. You know, that's the whole reason why monthly comics were so successful. Like, I'm thinking in particular, like X-Men, Claremont's X-Men run, right? People would come up to him, you know, and tell him, "Hey, I really enjoy the X-Men because it feels like I'm checking in with friends." You know, going on these little adventures. And it wasn't always these big epic stories. There were just like these little adventures here, little adventures here. You know, it built, it's like the regular content. It built that relationship. It built that fun friendship, as it were, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. No, that's the whole thing. It's making characters not personable. That's also something that's difficult to do, but sometimes it just you know, it just works. And I think these just, they work for me. It's almost like I've known these characters forever, you know.
When did you come up with these characters? Like, when was the inception? I don't know if I asked you this the last time we talked about the Merry Boys.
They kind of grew out of that Sparko. I did a graphic novel called Sparko that was published with Slave Labor Graphics, and they kind of evolved out of that. But they didn't have the same character. The characters themselves were literally just like the voices in my head. And they kind of just spoke through these characters that I evolved through Sparko. I got tired of drawing. I had a Templar character in Sparko. I got tired of drawing his very badly designed hair, so I kind of wrote it in, and he just removed the hair as a wig, and it's like a big reveal. Oh, he's a bald Templar. And that was a win for laziness, and a win for design, you know. So it kind of just became just grew out of that. But yeah, it's kind of, it also ties back into there is some social commentaries, personal stuff, just social alienation has always been like a strong theme for me personally, and something that I carry forward into the characters. And those are those types of characters. They are deformed. They're on the fringes of society. You know, they're on a mission completely different to everybody else, trying to do something that's completely against the grain of the world that they inhabit. So and nobody understands and nobody gets them, and you know, the father figure isn't really a father figure either. He's also got on his own sort of mission. He isn't always the best father. That isn't the main point. So it's all this, everybody's like these lost souls swinging around in a fishbowl year after year sort of vibe. And it's just that feeling that I have, that I impute into these characters. That's how I feel. It's my expression.
Yeah. Well, it gives it's a unique viewpoint on the world, and it gives a verisimilitude to the story that you're telling, to the world that you're building. And reading it does feel, you know, not necessarily personal, but it feels very, very well lived in, very real to, you know, that realness that it is to you comes across in the page. It comes across in the story, in the way you tell it. It feels like a lived in world. You know, sometimes when you read something and, you know there's a good concept there, and, you know, the writer is trying, but the world just kind of feels flat and hollow. It doesn't feel like it's lived in, doesn't really feel like it's been thought out or fleshed out. You know, this is the exact opposite of that. That's, you know, this world feels real. You know, it feels like it's a place you could go to.
It is, yeah, that's the thing. To a large degree, it is, in a way. This is England, ground level England. You know,
yeah.
That's what I try to give people, that real sense of those grey skies and you know, the kind of people that you encounter. Yeah. Not exactly, but you know, like a general vibe. I try to carry across for people.
The ink wash definitely helps to get it across as well. You know, it definitely helps to get that kind of gray skies across. You know, because especially like with the seagull right here, you know, these 2 pages definitely have that kind of, it's cold out, possibly raining, probably overcast sky. You know, yeah. I can feel this page. I can feel the wind. I can feel the cold air, the gray skies with this. You know.
Yeah, it's like we are not a harbour town. What would you call Bristol? Is it a harbour town?
Yeah,
we are a harbour town. We've got a lot of noisy seagulls around here.
Laughing hysterically at midnight.
Yeah, seagulls crapping everywhere, and yeah, I guess
the seagulls are loud at midnight. Holy shit!
Oh, they're crazy. I don't know what is it. If they've been eating too many disposed reefers that the junkies leave everywhere, but they make the weirdest sounds. I've never heard seagulls quite like the ones in Bristol. You know,
they're evolving. They're changing.
Mutating.
Yeah.
The
chat is planning to return
soonish.
The chat are all in the same room.
I have no idea. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I appreciate you all being here. Listen to the wise flying feline, like, share, and subscribe, and follow this link so you can get this book. Because look at this page. Look at this page. I cannot wait to read this page. This is gonna be so fun. So fun.
Oh yeah, it's like I don't know. But I think the formula for success is always like, make the comics that you don't really see anymore. The ones that you want there that nobody's making. And
make content you would read. Make comics you would read. That's my philosophy for my YouTube videos, and that's my philosophy for comics. Like, make stuff that you would read. If you wouldn't read it, if you're don't go chasing something. If you wouldn't read it, don't make it. If you wouldn't watch it, don't make it.
They'll make a product. That's the thing. It's not just a product. It's got to be more than that. It's
got to mean something to you.
It's got to mean something. You got to be into it much more than everybody reading it. It's like telling. It's like a cool story, bro. Sort of moment. You kind of tell everybody about this awesome night that you had out, but you really have to draw people in because most people just don't want to hear about your.
Oh yeah, otherwise they don't care.
Yeah,
you got to be really involved and invested in telling that story. To get other people to be invested in the story. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So you out there in Chatland, do you have any questions for the Chubbses? Yeah. While we got them here, great work, Chubb. I'll be back. Got to say hi. Welcome, Past Master Dan, and bye, Past Master Dan. Thanks for coming in to hang out. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, that's cool. We appreciate it, guys. No, the support's been great. And we can't complain about that. I just wish, it's just now I feel like I don't want to go into too many shows. I don't want to, spend too much time on streams and things because people are going to go, you should be working on the comic book. If it's going to be late, then we're going to be really upset with you. And I'm only doing one commission, and that's for Charlie's London's new book.
Yeah.
And that's it. Apart from that, it's just plain sailing for this project. But after that, we want to up our social media presence. Just get the shows going, get our channel and stuff. What we should have been doing before we launched this bloody book, But
I mean, you live, you learn. I mean, sometimes things work out the way you want it to. Sometimes they don't. But you got this one rocking and rolling. You'll get this book out and fulfilled, and start going around. Hanging out in chats and building content, and then by the time the next book rolls around, you'll have hopefully even more of an audience.
Yeah, no, I've got a plan. There is a formula to doing it right. It's taken me a long time to figure out how exactly I want to approach it, and now I know. But by this time, I already launched the book. But building it's finding that with shows. It's finding something that the audience, like, you have to do something for the audience. You have to give them a reason to come back. If it's not news, it's got to be know-how. A comic book news, I know kind of what's going on. I'm not abreast enough to give any sort of intelligent commentary and nuance to the stories that you can get elsewhere from people
Right.
who are more tuned into it. Know how, same thing. I mean, I know how to do my thing. I don't know how to convey that to anybody else, and I wouldn't know how to do a lot of stuff. A lot of the other guys do.
Do time lapse videos then, man. Like when once you're done the book and whatnot, do time lapse videos of you know, some characters that you like to do. You know, show your ink wash, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
people. I mean, 10 minute videos is what YouTube really likes.
It's not to change because they want to compete with TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So now they want.
Well, I mean, 10-minute videos is what YouTube started with. Way back in like 2006, they only allowed 10-minute videos, and if you wanted to upload anything longer, you had to upload it in 10-minute chunks. Then Google bought YouTube, and then they were able to have like half hour and 45 minutes.
I didn't know that. That explains why there's a lot of movies you can watch that are like in these little chunks all the time. Yes. I didn't get that. I didn't know. So it must have been there from pre-2006.
Yeah, yep. From 2006 on, there's been all kinds of movies that you could find, you know, and you could go through and like download each individual piece and then like watch it, and yeah, it was Wild West back then. Yeah, that was back when I was doing that whole Last Wednesday thing. But yeah, we started out only able to upload like 10-minute chunks of the show, and then Google Video, you could upload an entire half hour, so we could get the whole show up there. And then I think it was in 2007, 2008, the YouTube bought, or Google bought YouTube, and you know, the rest is streaming history. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not down with the kids. Like Commie Mark knows everything about the internet. He's like the internet guru. You know, he's got a genuine, you know, affection for the internet and its ways. Yeah. You know, I'm on the outside. I got no idea. I gotta find my way.
I mean, I've been doing tech for so long, and you know, I've been on YouTube for so long that I don't know. It's kind of second nature to me. I mean, I've been doing tech for 15 years now, something like that. Yeah. So
are you comfortable with it? Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I fix computers. It's part of one of my side gigs. I fix computers, and you know, I like building computers. I mean, I did up until it became almost impossible to get components to build a computer anymore. So
I need break.
Well, I mean, it happens. You got to be careful with them. I mean, I know certain people that break computers as well, or they just go on the fritz when they're around. So it happens. Yeah. I'm gonna use my my technomancy to calm it down. But all right, guys. If there are no questions, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Is there anything else that you want people to know about Merry Boys Beefheads before we say goodbye?
Not really. I think we hit a stretch goal, so everybody's going to be getting a sticker. If you go all the way to the bottom, there's going to be this bulldog sticker that I did, which I'm quite proud of.
Oh, we didn't even get down here. Look, there's the companion book. There are the prints. I love that.
I'm proud of that Pig Rider one. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be. That is a great picture.
So with that, yes, that's gonna be a sticker with like an emblem, because I thought it's time that they have like some sort of emblem or something.
Yeah.
You know, just not a real one. Obviously, this is something that
it's just fun, you know, little fun thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot to mention I've got a dog, and the dog features in the stories. So
okay, very cool.
So
is it this type of dog?
Bulldog. Yeah, English bulldog.
Awesome. That's awesome. I think they're adorable.
Yeah, so we slight change to that design, but yeah, I'm looking forward to having it, sticking it everywhere. It's going to be all over my team. That's the goal.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I guess we will see. Amanda's looking forward to this.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Amanda.
See, Lorenzo had forgotten about the 10-minute videos on pre-Google YouTube. Yep.
I didn't even know there was this distinction.
I remember.
Oh yeah, Google Video and YouTube. They were Google tried to one up YouTube, but their video compression didn't work quite as well, and they didn't want to put the effort into making it as good as YouTube, so they just bought YouTube. Yep. One of the few things that Google has bought that actually continued to be good. Everything else that they seem to buy seems to die.
Yeah. It's big tech, you know. It's almost as bad as big pharma.
6 1/2 dozen of the other.
Careful, I want to get your channel struck by saying something I shouldn't. There are ears everywhere now, you know.
Right.
Yeah, everything is so contentious now. It's like with this whole the whole GoFundMe debacle. You know, that's really disappointing with the whole.
Yeah, that's pretty effing sad. That is pretty.
Like, we'll just take your money that we wanted to give to this cause and give it to other causes and make our money
we'll just
back of it.
Yeah,
forget it.
Yeah, it's complete bullshit, you know. And this is they just want to control. That's really what it is. They just want to control. Yeah. Google is now suppressing channels. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. You know. Listen to the wise flying feline. Like, share, and subscribe.
Do that. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. This has been a blast. I always enjoy talking with you. And Monica, thanks for coming to hang out with us. It was good to see you.
She's suspiciously quiet. You know, she's never quiet when she's not on. When she's off.
Well, she was just letting you do the talking. You know, she only piped in to correct you every now and then. You know, she's letting you do your thing.
I tend to say things that I really should not say in public, so I better keep my mouth shut.
I mean, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
You think he's non-PC?
If you think he's not PC, he ain't heard nothing. Yeah, that's I totally understand.
So, yeah, I just smile and sit. And,
okay, you're right. Okay, that's a good point.
All right, everybody, we are going to take off. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Hit the link. Go grab Mary Boys and hit their eBay store to get issues 1 and 2, issues 1 and 2, because you are not going to want to miss it
too. And also, if you back this campaign, it's available as an add-on to the original comic books. So yeah,
hell yeah, do it. Get it now.
And we're sending them out immediately. So if you get that as an add-on, you're getting this very soon.
Yeah, we just post it out immediately.
You don't have to wait until July.
Hell yeah. I get it, guys. If you missed out on the first campaign, get on the first 2 right now while you can, because I don't know how many they have left. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Get them anyway.
Oh, when are you going to get rid of all these damn comic books?
Help them out.
Landfill? No. Let's try and solve it.
Recycling.
That's right. Or, you know, we'll get them over here so I can put them in the comic shop. That's what we'll do.
That's actually, we must talk about that. That'll be awesome. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We are out of here. Later.